Hello there, you dubious beasts and other capitalists like me. I don't know what that was. I thought I was trying to go for like a 1930s, but I don't do good with accents. Like, meh, see, stool pigeon, meh, we're gonna sneak absinthe in, meh, see, top of the morning. I don't know what I'm doing with my life or myself. So I'm sure the folks who watch this video have already plummeted in the amount of views I'm gonna get beyond this point. So I'm glad I scared everyone away. If you are new, welcome. I also hate myself, as you hate me too. If you are new, my name's Evan. This is Fifth Third Trading. If you didn't know, first day of Starbucks having the new winter drinks. That's a nice tidbit for you. You know, big brain. If you are new, we're talking about technical analysis with the episode 180. I think it doesn't matter. Technical analysis. Welcome to what you're here for. We're talking about supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicator. The 10th thing being love. Not really, but this mustache though goes hard. If you are new, if you want to have a trading system, I suggest watching this video in its entirety. It'll help show you what I do. A trading structure to me is different than a system, as I described in my class, which is for free because I'm not a shill and available right here. Boom. If you want to know the difference between a system and a structure, the system can change, right? Earnings, you should probably go like neutral options and have a great time with option calls. Not during earnings, bullish, bearish, calls, puts, long, short, position sizing can change, what sectors of focus, what all those kinds of things, what index to focus can all change in the system. A structure never changes, right? Your house never changes, your foundation never changes, the walls never change, unless you do construction, but shut up. When it comes to a structure, the things that can change that I always emphasize are risk management, technical, fundamental, mental analysis, a trading plan, macro markets, actually doing the trading plan itself, watch those macro markets, and then consistency as well. Those things always make up my whole entire structure. Those things can never change, and as you go through a system, those do change. But again, those rules never change. If you enjoy what I do thoroughly, the Discord's available. The community, I have to call it a community, not a Discord. It's not some call chat. It's actually a group of folks who want to see each other win. The community is still available through the Patreon link in the description box down below. The Spooky Boy and Spooky Gal special is over for now. The 196 who got in can enjoy it for free the next week or so. Everyone else, go join there if you like it. Fantastic. If not, it's okay. I do 5 morning newsletters, 5 nightly newsletters. Folks get these picks around 2 o'clock. You get the video around 7. So it gives you a whole different perspective. They can look at the picks early. Not only that, they get help with options. With these calls, they get price targets, they get stop losses, they get everything. Check my journal down below. Check it out in the description box. In the journal has all my calls I made with what I'm watching for stop loss and price targets. You don't know what I put them at unless you're in the Discord, but of course, you can at least watch and see how productive I'm doing, how the picks do. If the person you like on YouTube or Reddit or Twitter doesn't post their picks like I do and doesn't track them for you, I wouldn't trust them as far as I can throw them. I'm not built like that. I kind of look like Gumby with a mustache, so I can't throw people that far. So I wouldn't trust them that much either. Lastly, before I start, yesterday's picks, a lot of them taken off, a lot are still of value. Watch right here for yesterday's video as well. 8 other picks we can get into going into next week and into tomorrow. With that being said, let's get into it. 8 great picks. I can guarantee you one thing. I can't guarantee you're gonna make money. I can't guarantee you anything besides you're gonna hear at least one stock you never heard of these 8. I can almost guarantee that. I do deep scans for these, everything else. With that being said, let's get into it, my sweet baby angels. So first is COF, Capital One. I have a credit card with them for the miles. If you are new to my channel, which you're going to find out, the supports are white, the resistances are orange. You're going to see that the resistance trend lines are going to be orange and dotted, so it kind of look like, you know, down here with orange dot. Support and trend lines are going to be golden, if you didn't know, and then of course these 2 white dotted lines is volume profile. This one right here is going to be the POC. I don't have all day to describe the POC to you. I don't have all day to describe volume profile to you. Watch this video here, right there. My cat's on my hand. It's a good boy. Watch that video up here for more information on volume profile. 45 minutes, in, out, bing, bang, boom. You'll learn something new, and again, you can come back here with a brand new tool on your waist, like Batman, ready to go. COF, Capital One, easy play. I mean, financials is kind of teetering and petering out here. It's kind of, you know, making higher highs. But look, it's a financial, just like tech. Financials always do pretty well. Look at the dividend increase, right? As the time goes on, the dividend's gone up pretty well. You get pretty good earnings call. I mean, $7 a share it's insanity. That's crazy. Almost $8. You made almost $8 for holding a share. Sure, it's 150. Sure, we're swinging it. But if you do get a great entry and it does take off, this does have long-term viability. It's a financial institution. It's not going anywhere. In 20 years, you'll be printing with this. I think with a swing, though, very low risk, very high reward. The only issue that I'm seeing is that we don't have convergence. When it comes to convergence, it means trend, pattern, EMA lines. Everything's coming together so multiple folks buy in. It's a system that I like. Again, to differentiate, the system changes, the structure doesn't. The system that uses convergence, you want to learn more about that in itself, watch this video right here. I don't have time to explain it all right now for you. What's great, though, is just a simple support play. Low risk, high reward. I mean, a bad move here, if you were to see it just tank, you risk at most 4%. A full move is about 14, so about 3 and some change versus one risk. It's pretty great. With a tighter stop loss, can easily be a 5-1 or a 6-1. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators. What's so cool about this channel, besides me, you new kids, is that I actually don't use indicators to scan. There's no EMA crossovers. There's no RSI under 30. There's no VWAP bottoming out things. It's all live with you. You'll find as you get better with trading that indicators are the icing, not the cake. And they show you 4 things: trend, momentum, volume, and volatility. That's it. Those 4 things that it shows me is part of my technical analysis plan. It'll help me enter or help me not enter at a bad deal. So again, these just reinforce what we see. TA always comes first before indicators. But again, if you're brand new, you're going to now see what a veteran does compared to a beginner. It might give you guys some great tidbits. Let's check it out together. So first is the EMA lines, which are the blue one's 10, the purple's 50, the red's 200. The 10 crosses lead to great success here. Even if it's just a day trade, it's fine. But this is right here is really great. See, he crosses 10. And again, if you were to hold till it cuts under, it's almost perfect. Over here, really good cross. Really good cross. So every time you get over the 10, it's a good go signal. Like over here, you got faked out a little bit. But again, you have higher lows. It's pushing up here. A 10 cross is fine. Of course, we want to get over the 200. That's the main goal. But down here, great value. 10 cross is very viable for a play. RSI is at 42. It could be a bit better. Honestly, it could be underneath 30, but again, it still spends most of its time north of where that RSI is, so that's fine. Looks good on value. Stochastic, again, is a bit high. I'm not overly concerned. It's no real divergence either way. It's fine. It's just a bit high. You may see a pullback here to the support. And then bulls, bears. Bulls, you want green. You want that low. Or just crossing. And as we can see, it just crossed here. If it lives and shows up, you're good to go. If it doesn't, you want to buy when the bulls get priced at 67 or even closer at 43. But with that crossover there, we should have some good life. COF is a fantastic pick. I think for a long-term hold, it's very logical. For a swing, it's very logical. And for a day trade over that 10 EMA line, it's also very logical. I love what I see. Simple play. You probably know what Capital One is, but again, it's a fantastic play. I definitely watch listed. Next is FVRR, International LTD Comp. This is a great sell-off for a great company. I mean, it comes up, and look how pivotal the spot is. It's consistent. There's a gap here. It's consistently tried the 160s, even though it's the 150s as a support spot. I love that. Right here, it's definitely getting down. If it breaks this trend line, which it is currently, we're not going to freak out. We're just going to go to the support play. The volume profile lines here, if we break that tomorrow, we wait for 159. If you love 5 or 165, you're going to love it at 160. If it gets down to 152, you'll love it there even more. If it dips down farther, you can just cut it. But I think waiting here is the key. It's patience, right? I think that the reversals here are consolidated based, right? Takes 4 to 5 days. Takes 4 to 5 days. This one here took 3 days. This reversal took almost 12. This full one took almost 18 days. Even down here, still 3 to 4 days. So if FVRR, you have to have some patience. And there's no reason to jump in here if you can wait for a candlesticks up that you like. Bullish engulfing, 3 green soldiers, whatever it is. We can wait for some type of light before we jump in here. No sign of higher highs or higher lows yet. Let it come down to us, but FVRR here, 160 or 152 is a fantastic purchase. Let's check the indicators together. To help us support the idea that it's a support play, the EMA lines are going sideways. See how sideways they're going, especially the 200? That to me means the trend line's not nearly as important as a support play here. All 3 are pointed down, so there's a good possibility that you may need to look out for a wedge play. Maybe there's some kind of supporting trend line like this, then it may get a bit lower. Because whatever the EMA line shows trends we should be looking for. So if the EMA line 200, my largest one, is pointed sideways like it is, I put more emphasis into the horizontal sideways plays. If it's pointed downward, if it keeps going down, I'm going to try and find a falling wedge or a downward channel to play off of. If it's pointed up, I go off an upward trend line. Seeing as it's going sideways, that support's key. So I think right down here is a play 160 to 158. Anywhere in here is fine. RSI, it's low, I love it. Stochastic is low, I love it. You know, there's no real divergence. I mean, you have this currently, but again, if it keeps dipping, it's not going to be a divergence down there, right? But again, negative 65 is a great value. Bulls are low, just like you want them. Bears are high, just where you want them. FVRR is a great support play. Again, do we not have the greatest convergence? No, we do not, because we only have a support play here. But if the trend line does hold, it could be a bit better. I love what I see for the value, though. For, a large cap stock, it makes a whole lot of sense. FVRR, I'd watch listed. Next is GD. You know, gosh darn. You know, General Dynamics. You know, great play here. Great channel up. 10-year. Oh, it's almost like I really look at these things. Look at this support line right in here. It's holding again. Resistance is here. Volume profile lines here. The POC is the strongest support and resistance as we can see. It all checks out across the board. Again, it just gets higher, sells off, goes higher. So we have plenty of room to run up. Even a bad move is 15, 16% here. Plenty of room to run up. Great historical data here. The support, old resistance is holding very well. Trend lines here. POC, you want to be above you to pull it higher, but it does show that volume's coming in pretty well. Earnings, overreaction. Earnings, overreaction, it came back down. Earnings, overreaction, it came back down. Here it's coming down, should come back up. Again, what's the risk here? At most is 2. You break down here, you get out. Making it to the resistance itself is about a 2 to 1. A full move is close to a 4 to 1. Great setup, GD, simple play. And again, it's fine on earnings. It's great for a long-term hold. If you do break out here and hold for a long period of time, you can see some extra goodies with your dividend. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators. Oh, my. Ooh. The computer broke there. Oh, my, Miss Bessie, what a nice 200 email line you got there. M'lady, I'm good at accents. I'm going to jump off a cliff. A great 200 here. Once you get below it, it's a great value. We're right there again. Now you can play off of a 200 crossover. Break over the 200, you're good to go. The 10's kind of meh, as you can see. That 50 is really good, though. But that 200, once you're over that, you're good to go. Anywhere down here, it's great value. I'm still embarrassed by that accent I just tried. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. No divergence, it's all there. But again, negative 40 is fine. Bulls low, bears high. GD is beautiful. I just love that 200 email and trend line. And again, what I'm saying with that is that 200 is doing what? From over here and up, it's going up. So I'm putting more emphasis into the trend line itself. It's important to understand that. If the 200 email line was going sideways like this, I'd emphasize the support. But seeing as it's going up like this, I put emphasis into that golden channel there. That's deep, if you didn't know how to use that exactly. GD looks good. I love what I see. Great support, great trend. It's all there. What more could you want? I'd watch list it. Next is GLO, an easy short. The reason I say that, zoom out. It's almost like I do this professionally. Oh, look at that. Historically, this is a massive resistance spot. What did it do? It broke down horde. We got up here again, and now we're doing the same exact thing. Now again, would I buy GLO at $12 to go long? Hell yeah. Yeah, I would. But up here again, it makes way more sense to short. Because when it comes down to 12, it's 8%. Man, you buy in here and you get some movement. Man, you get a breakout, you're good to go. I would definitely short it here. Too much action up here. It's really getting condensed. Like, bulls are trying, they're not succeeding. Small support here. Massive amounts of volume right here. None above it. Again, if you do get a breakout, you could easily play off of that. But again, it does this historically. Gets up here, dies. Gets up here, dies. Dies. All these kinds of things. Very easy play. Let's check the indicators. Again, the email line is going somewhat sideways. Again, from like over here and over. Pretty sideways with that resistance I'm going off of. Build this 10 email line. Almost perfect. Mine's this goofy one right there. Almost perfect in every single run up. So once you lose that 10, if tomorrow we cross under the 10 and hold, that's the key. If you go underneath the 10 and you wick back, it doesn't count. You have to have a solidified candle under the 10 EMA line. If you get too hasty, you're going to get burned. And so I think you wait for the 10 to get the price get under the 10, you're good to go for a short. And then under the 200, you want to go long. It's overbought. Bears ready to take a move here. GLO, easy short. And again, can you go long? Well, of course, my dear. Oh, there you go. Of course, my dear Watson. But of course, I would definitely want to buy into value to then go for a breakout. Risk versus reward here dictates a short. It's very easy. And of course, if the market does look weak tomorrow, this should also drop with that. GLO, I'd watch list it. MSOS. MSOS looks pretty good here. And again, why? Well, this is all the cannabis plays. I think that down here, it's a great value for cannabis plays, even for a long-term hold. You want to hold this until you're 40 or 50. For my case, I'm only 29. It makes a lot of sense. But I think a lot of, these plays are getting really sold off. We called it over here. It made a nice move. I want to try and get in again lower here. This is a very good value. I mean, worst case, you're risking 2 or 3% for a full move. Let's just say Biden's administration really backs marijuana or state legalization with votes coming and it gets more backing. This could probably be one of the best values you're going to see fundamentally and technically speaking. So I think it makes a lot of sense down here. No real price targets because it's an ETF, but down here, it's just a super great deal. I want to see what it does. Let's check the indicators. Of course, the 10 crosses are good, but again, the 200 is the big curmudgeon you got to get over. And again, that's almost, 20% away? Yeah, 19.8. I have a good eye for this. 20% away. It means nothing here, but if you get over the 200, you made the right call. RSI, it's low, stochastics low, bulls low, bears high. I don't love downward wedges when the market's surging, but again, with more experience in doing this and making the show, I've really fallen in love with some downward wedges. This looks like a great one. And again, fundamentally, you're going to kind of need some states or Biden, whoever it is, to back this. And if they do, you could be getting a fantastic deal and a great play. MSOS, I love what I see. Next is PayPal. Okay, before everyone freaks out and is like, he's calling hype plays. I also waited till now, knowing it was in a sell-off. I know a lot of folks are like, oh, PayPal's a great value at 250 and 260. I'm calling it at 225, right? So this is a fantastic risk versus reward. Earnings are coming. I don't know how well it's going to do. I'm not a future reader. Future reader, you idiot. Fortune teller. If anyone is saying they know which way it's going to go, they're a liar. Don't trust them. No one knows at all. This is all speculation at this point. But again, this is a very strong support. Right? If you lose this, well, I guess you maybe got 207. But besides this area, you lose this, you're doomed. It's done. It's over. See you later. So it's a very low risk play. Again, 2, 3, 4% for a full move, just for volume, would be almost 24%. That's 8 to 1. Can't pass that up. I mean, it's a really good looking play here. I don't love the huge sell-off in earnings. I don't love that at all. But again, earnings here, sold off into it, came back. Earnings, sold off into it, made even a nice 4% move here, right? So I have some faith here for support play. Fundamentally, I'm not in love, okay? But again, for a risk versus reward perspective, which is my foundation, I love what I see. Let's check the indicators. Important to note, the 200 is doing what? Pointing down. So there's a good chance there's some form of trend line. That was the one that broke. There's some form of trend line in here somewhere you may want to watch. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's up here. You got to remember, though, for an actual pattern, you got to go from the same support and the same resistance and the same move, right? So maybe it's there. I don't know where it is. So again, the 10 cross works fine for confirmation. I would definitely wait for that. I'll take 2% off my top to get a support balance over a 10 EMA line. I'll wait for 10 cross. Besides that, I wouldn't touch it until it gets over that. Show some life at least. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, obvious bullish divergence. Enchanté, mi amor. That's a really good looking divergence right there. Delicious. Snackable, like me. I mean, it's a snack and a roll full of entrees, right? Just looking to get me a little bite. Bulls low, bears high. Look, I don't like hype plays. I actually avoid them actively because they piss me off to no end. But again, when you have a play that has a possible 8 to 1 scenario, and with a long-term hold, even better, I like what I see. PayPal, I'd watch listed. Next is SB. Boy, it's getting volatile. This is a great trend here. Absolutely gorgeous trend over a long period of time. You also have a great channel down, right? I don't say that very often, but a great kind of channel wedge down here, right into $4. At $4, we're good to go. I'd also buy at $4.20 for the memes myself. But this is a great looking play. Good earnings, if it gets choppy, earnings, it gets choppy, but it keeps going higher and higher. Safe bulkers, I don't know what the hell they do, but this is a great looking trend, great support. And look at, historically, it's like the spot that we're almost at, the $4 spot, is a massive old resistance. And look at, oh my goodness, it's like it was a massive old resistance. Shocked, not really. So this is a really good spot for support. It's bouncing higher, and again, you're risking what, 4 or 5%? A breakout's gonna be like 20 or 30. Looks good to me. Let's check the indicators. I'm hoping the 200 is gonna be a support, and it's not. Drat. Now we can see that 50 is your real support. Look at that 50. Oh my goodness. Look at those bounces off it. Now the 10 crosses are great too. Absolutely legit. So I mean, you want to wait for a 10 cross to at least give you a worst case Ontario of a break-even trade. Not a bad idea at all. And again, over the 200, we're good to go. But down here, good value. I wouldn't wait myself if you want the value purchase, but the 10 cross works fine. 200's even better. The 50's optimal, right? RSI, low, I love it. No divergence here at all, but again, stochastic, -25, pretty good. Bulls and bears are fighting. They're consolidating. We're going sideways. Whoever gets the more volume here from earnings is going to have a huge day. SB, it's definitely not a beginner play. This thing can get real choppy real quick, but if you like to have more volatility and more upward movement and more risk, but also a lot more reward, it's a good pick. SB, bulkers, whatever they do, I watch this stuff. Last is ship. Like me, with my cool mustache and my cool shark tattoo and my cool sailor's grave tattoo. Zzz. I hate myself. Ship looks good here. Great trend up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it's held. And this is again a 13% move, so it counts. Looking good. Earnings, it's gonna get weird like me. It's going sideways. Earnings, it goes sideways. Earnings, it goes sideways. Odd that it does that, but it is what it is. Great support, great trend here. Again, what's the risk? 5%. A POC hit is almost 12. So you almost have a 3-to-1 just to hit the average volume spot. Looks good here. Maybe it forms some pattern. I don't see it. But again, low volume. It's fine here. And again, if it does break down, well, by golly, at 98 cents, it's a steal. Well, by golly, if it goes down to 86, it's an even better steal. On the 10-year chart, look at this thing used to print crazy. It's done a bunch of splits or whatever it's doing, being weird. But look at this is a great higher lows. It's looking nice here. I love what I see. When it comes to the indicators, the 10 crosses are pretty good. When you get over the 10, it's good. Now again, this is a sporadic little penny stock, so it is pretty crazy. Over the 50 is going to be an optimal scenario. You can see why you hit the 50 not living. But look at you cross that 10 and 50 tomorrow, and over this resistance, you break this and you go crazy. Man, that's going to be bananas. So waiting for a cross over the 10 or 50, both work. But again, I think value-wise, it's pretty good right here. 482 RSI, it's fair. That makes sense. Stochastic is low. You'll love to see that. Bulls are low, bears are high. But you want the bulls a little bit lower. And I guess if the bulls did break down, they'd be near $1. So again, I think you want that trend to hold. You're good to go. My only discrepancy is that the 200 is pointing downward pretty intensely. So I don't think that this trend line is going to hold all that great. And maybe there's like a trend line like this one, right? And if that's the case, you may want to buy towards 1. So I'd maybe give it a day or two. If you don't break that resistance trend line, I'd wait a day or two. If you don't get over this tomorrow, I'm waiting a day or two. Because I think if there is a falling trend line that's like this, because this is pointing down, the 200 is pointing down, I would probably buy into that myself. SHIP, II captainship, looks pretty good. There you guys have it. I appreciate y'all sticking around for the whole entire episode. I'm sure like 4 of you did. I'm sure the 4 of you who did, I do appreciate you. Have a good rest of your guys' week. There will be no show tomorrow because, well, it's Friday and I don't do crypto. So we'll see you guys on Saturday for a sector video. Should be good to go. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys' week and weekend. We'll see you guys then. Thanks.